Tēnā tātou e te whānau, e te iwi nau mai haramai ki tēnei pāpā hōtanga a whakawata Māori. Ka mihi ki ngā maunga, ngā wai me ngā ahika o tēnei rohe, tēnā koutou katoa. Ki ngā whai kaiwhakaere, me ngā kaiwhakataitai, he mihi mahana hoki ki a koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Tēnā koutou e te iwi nau mai haere mai, mihi ana ki a koe e hoa. I tēnei rangi paki, rangi a tāhua atu I ngā motu. New Plymouth, here we are, and we're here to watch the Super 8 Rugby get underway.
Ko John Edmonds, I hope.
Ko Ethan Smith tēnei, no te tai tokerau, mihi ana ki a koutou katoa.
Kia ora.
So we're just going to have a look at a few of the warm-up pitches coming in from this morning. It's a beautiful day down here. Beautiful day for rugby. Not too much of a breeze. There's been no rain, so the ball, and we're on a new pitch as well. So tell us a little bit about this new pitch, bro.
Oh, this pitch was put down over the last term and over the summer. It's been a long time coming, and the boys have embraced it. They come down here all the time. They play down on this at lunchtime. It's great to see the few more rugby balls being thrown around down here.
Yeah, and here we are having a little look at the pitches on that turf. The team's warming up, and we have the team from Hastings here preparing themselves. So yeah, they've travelled over. Yesterday we had a little bit of a talk before to our manager, which you'll see in a little while, and they talked about coming over and spending the night and getting billeted here, which is an awesome thing to hear. That's still happening.
And the old New Plymouth Boys, they had a noho here on Thursday evening, just to get to sort of more culture in there. They've been doing really well, so it was great for them. They went out to the movies, they went out for dinner. And
here you can see the New Plymouth Boys coming down into the, what do we call this place, bro?
The gully.
The gully.
This is the gully.
Coming down into the gully, you can hear the reverberations apparently of the rugby boots coming down that path. And so we hear what's going on in these boys' minds as they come out onto this fine day for a game of rugby, bro?
That's such a traditional walk down to the field for our boys, for the New Plymouth Boys, and there are a lot of nerves there. They want to go out there, and they're representing our region, they're representing our kura. Kia ora, yeah.
Kia ora. And so we've got the Hastings boys coming out, the visitors, running out onto this new pitch. They've got a feel of what the turf feels like under boot, and hopefully we're going to see an exciting game here today. Tēnei rangi. And so looking at the Hastings boys, we've got Israeli? Mm-hmm. Karanivalu. Oh, that's a good bloody ingoa, bro. And we've got JJ Lilo Iosefa, that's the captain. Also from New Plymouth Boys. Hastings Boys, we've got Oscar Prese, Lockie Vako, Mone Halofia, Riley Tatau. We've got Vincent Kite, or Kite, Panapa Peia, Tauriki Joseph Maui. And let's just talk a little bit about them coming out onto the paddock here at the moment.
Yeah.
Turf there, bro.
So this is the boarders are sitting there, clipping them in at the moment. There'll be some nerves in these boys. I know these boys well, and there'll be some nerves out there, but they'll be going out there to give it their all.
Kia ora. And you talked about them being boarders, those ones that are clapping them in at the moment.
Awesome. And this is the New Plymouth Boys High School team at prop Sam Graham, hooker Nate Werder. The other prop is Tufakaya Taylor Tupaia, Brody Lester, Adam Sosa, Flynn Bryant, Bo Henderson, Kate Davis, Heath Sheehan, then Ben Sinclair, Corday Whippy, Jed Werlin, Jason McGregor, Tane Nelly, and George Lipinto. We're going to have some silence.
We're going to have a moment of silence here for Reese Kawana, one of our Hastings boys that passed away. And there we have young Reese Kawana, I imagine, who was unfortunately lost in a car accident, I do believe. So our thoughts go out to his whānau and his hapori community at this time. And now the Hastings boys, one's from Here Taunga, commence their haka.
Led by the captain, JJ Lilo Iosefa. And that's the uniqueness of rugby here in Aotearoa. The haka led by Jacob Awaho for New Plymouth Boys High School, and as I said earlier, the haka was led by JJ Lilo Iosefo from Hastings Boys. Be a great game, this one.
I reckon. And what does the haka do at the start of a kemu for us, brother?
Well, you know, for the New Plymouth Boys High School boys, we talk about bringing each other together, laying that challenge for our visitors that come to New Plymouth Boys High School. So, yeah, I think it's about bringing us together and making us, proud of who we are.
Kia ora. And it absolutely gets the energy going within the players. Nei te wainga nui ngā kai tākaro. I mua I te kokenga o te kemu nera. Hiki nā tō rātou wairua, te ihi kei roto I a rātou. And you can always tell when there's a haka that started a game because the first hit up, there's even more emphasis in it. So yeah, looking forward to this kickoff and this first run here, whānau.
So Rowan Gladding, he's one of the local premier referees. He'll be leading this game today in the middle of the field. So, yeah.
Kia ora. Mihi atu ki ngā kai wawao. I roto I te motu katoa I tēnei rā horoi. Beautiful kickoff there. And take by the Hastings boys, those boys from Here Taunga.
Yeah, strong contact there first up.
And that's a good clearing kick out to be taken nice and firmly at the back there. And we're going to look to bring it back with a bit of emphasis and try to make something and bring it back up into their own territory, which they have done, the New Plymouth boys.
And Brody Lister there taking the board forward. Work.
O rawe te tirohanga o te hawhe peke.
Ai.
I te maka I te poro ki ona o hoa tākaro. Engari, they don't seem to be gaining too much traction at the moment.
Aye.
What can you see that they might need to do differently, Ahoa?
I think they just need to be patient, and they just need to carry on getting that go forward, and just be patient, and just hoping that the defence will wear, and just
Well, they're doing a good job of retaining that the poro I tēnei wā.
Aye.
And after quite a few phases by the statistician, I'd say that was about 15 or so phases.
Aye.
So there's a point in time when you have to make the decision, okay, do we keep hitting this wall or do we mix it up a little bit? But as you can see, they've brought it back with a bit of interest.
Outside, yep, absolutely. And, they're going to keep trucking it up there.
And they've brought it back with a lot of enthusiasm, our whānau from Here Taunga. And that's a great pass out to number 11. And he's got one to beat.
And you go...
Oh, titiro ki ngā wira o tērā tama,
Aye.
Miha rora wātu. Engari, it must be a little bit difficult because when you work at a place, and you know these boys, and you must feel a lot of aroha for these ones as you see these fellas come from a long way away and then they score under your post and you think to yourself, mara. Hey, come on boys, where was the defence?
So there's, that was good use of sort of spreading the ball to one edge and then getting it out to the other and looking for those spaces.
So that was number 11, John Lameko. So he did really well to get through that gap and then showed a bit of change of pace, Tino wai pahuri, parahuti, aya. So here we have number 10, Tana Faumuiana, lining up to convert this first try from Here Taunga. The boys from Here Taunga, ngā taitamatane o reira. So 3 minutes into the game, cracking start,
for our Hastings whānau.
But the boys from Ngamotu, New Plymouth, they came out and they had a strong showing of running. So I suppose they need to do a little bit of work on what are they going to do differently now that they know some of the weapons at the back. Here we go, that offload, and then the wheels here. How are they going to retain and stop that from happening again? That's the thing that we've got to watch out for.
Absolutely. So Levi Clement starting off again.
Another great takedown there by the number. Nice little pass from the number 9, Tauriki Joseph Maui. Busting.
Strong strength in the offload there. So Levi Clements taking the ball back there and looking for that open space.
And he's found the paitaha, the sideline there, Hoa. So one of the things we're trying to encourage as we watch the game that we love is we're also trying to encourage people to use a little bit more of our reo. So some of the kupu that you might not be aware of is the sideline, the paitaha. And what are we going to call the line out there, Hoa? Te kupu mo tērā.
Whakararangi.
Whakararangi paitaha. Pea, O rawe, tēnō kaha te rutu o e rā tama. O he nui tērā tama, te whāngai atu i te pōro, i ono hoa. Ko te nama toru tēnā o Hastings.
Down the outside there.
Ko Oscar Parese, te nama toru.
Going out there for whakararangi.
Whakararangi paitaha. He roa tērā kupu. And here we have another look at that offload. It was a close one too. Right on the line.
Good.
Pai tō rātou hikina i te tamara.
Great hole there.
And that tama from Here Taunga was right over the ball, so they did well to retain it.
Got advantage there.
Quick shift of the hands.
With B.T. Boylan taking it up. Up by no advantage there.
And our Kaiwa Wao, our referee, has seen some kind of infringement. going down on the ruck. I think he's pointing down there, so not holding his feet.
Jason Tane Nelly looks like he's going to go for the sideline there. No, he opted for the boot for the post.
So he had some wiser counsel come to him. He said, no, we're on the attack. Let's put it in the corner. And then wiser counsel, the rangatira came and said, hey,
take those points.
Tikina era pointa. And you might be thinking to yourself, I te whānau, what is the kupu for a penalty kick? That's a very good question, e te whānau. We've got a long list of
kupu,
kupu, so we shall find that kupu for you, and then you will know just like we know. So a penalty is obviously a hamene.
Mm-hmm.
So hamene, I don't think it's a hamene whana e hoa.
Oh. Mm-mm. First points on the board for New Plymouth, and good, straight back into it. So that's good for the New Plymouth boys.
Absolutely, you got to come make a bit of a hit back, try and level up that score, that the tauranga. So that's what they'll be trying to do. Just keep their heads close enough, so if they score again, well, they're going to go ahead. And thus far, we've seen some great passing out there, and some great gameplay. 7 minutes into it.
Yep. Yes. Cade Davis making the good, half break there.
He found a little gap there, didn't he? A little shift of the feet.
Adam Sosa taking it through.
That little number 9, he's been really quick and all over the place, that fella.
Yep, Heath Sheehan.
Oh, yeah. Kari kite, pia. Engari, koera te painga o tēnei mahi ei, kua kite I te katoa.
And a good clearance there by Levi Clements.
Oh, great high take there, eh? That's a difficult move to pull off, but that... Oh, karo hatu ki aia. So that was John Lameko with that. It was Israel Folau-esque.
Yes,
I have to say, it's like that Aussie rules, they take it at the top of the hands. It's a hard one to pull off, eh? It's a lot different to just catching it in the bread basket, like you'd normally teach the kids. But yeah, that's how you progress. You get up to that, being able to catch those high balls like that. So mihi ana kia John Lameko. In the past, the maka didn't quite complete, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, if you are ngā motu New Plymouth Boys supporter,
Heath Sheehan, he feeds a scrum out to Ben Sinclair. And Tane Nelly there, taking it forward. Oh. There's been some really good momentum being created here for New Plymouth. Cade Davis. Oh, unlucky there. Got a little bit isolated. So
harmony that's been turned over to the boys from Here Taunga. And that was by a quick mahi by number Ono.
Aye.
Was it number Ono e hoa?
Aye.
No, Namarima no te tima o Here Taunga. Ko Mone Halofia.
Only new to the... I came in this morning with a bit of a change this morning.
He tino rongo ana I ngā tamariki ki te taho o te whira hoki.
Ai.
Ko te manako, kāre rātau I kōrero ko himu ana rātau. So what has he seen here, e hoa? Okay, ka pai.
So what you can see that the new turf here creates a fast game, like it's
and you were saying earlier on the difference between having turf here now compared to the old fields means that it is what's able to be done here now.
Oh, so we play. Obviously, you can see the markings. We can play lots of other sports on here too. So soccer gets played on here, and it can be played at night on these fields now. So, Adam, well done. Good take up there from Adam.
So he's going to take the first
for the knock on there.
First knock on there. So yes, having the advantage of having turf out here means you can have so many more games happening on it as well, you know. Normally you'd have to just have one game a week. And then you've got to let the grass rest, otherwise it turns to mud. But now having the turf, but it's a massive investment by the school and by the community to be able to put these things in place.
Yeah, there's probably been more games played on this field in the last 4 weeks of the term than it has been in the last year. So that's a positive. Sheehan off to Sinclair. Again, taking it up. Sinclair clears. That's some... Some good hustle in there. Unfortunately knocked on there by New Plymouth Boys High School.
Nui ngā pakanga kei rotora e. Engari, when you've got those occasions happen, it's very important to keep your composure and try and rally around your teammates to try and lift their energy. Because you know, one of those turnovers that can happen, it can really affect the momentum of the game. So getting behind your players and giving them a bit of a pat on the back and say, hey, kei te pai, haere tonu.
Maui.
Whāngai ia I te nonoke.
Off to Whaumina. And then coming round the back, John Lamiko.
Well, we've seen him a number of times inserted himself into the game and make a difference. John?
Come off his own wing and gone onto the on the right-hand side.
Well, he had a bit of vision and spotted a little bit of he wāhi, e wāteana, te taha o te whirara, engari kāri tino tere o nā hoa tākaro.
I was wondering who he was kicking that out to, because John Lamiko was on the other side of the field. So.
Pono. He must have thought that fella's got flash feet, eh? He'll get over ki tērā tūtaha o te whira, ki te tiki I tērā poro.
Haira.
Ngari auare ake. So they're playing some expansive hutu poro I tēnei wā, the Hastings boys, and they've done well to keep them under control and not let them get away too much. They managed to shut down that break through the line, so they'll take some confidence from that. The boys from Ngamotu, New Plymouth Boys.
Sheehan again feeding the scrum. 8-9 off the back there. Sheehan with the ball, and Sinclair opting to clear again. I wonder if he got him for carrying it back. Carrying it back.
Ko te pātai ki te kaiwa wao, ka whana I te poro, ki waho, nō reira.
Rātou ki te
wāhi.
Whakararangi.
Whakararangi paitaha. Ko te namarua tēnā o Hastings Boys.
Captain JJ
Lilo Iosefa. I rawe tōna whiu I te poro. Pai tana kawa I te poro I tērā wānera.
Kapai.
Engari kāre ko tai mai o nā hoa tākaro o nā hoa tautoko. Ki te mau I te poro, nō reira he wāte ana mō ngā tāngata o Ngamotu ki te tiki I tērā poro.
There was some great work there from Flynn Bryant, getting over the ball nice and early, strong over the ball. So,
and Adam Sousa hoki te namarima. Ka hoki anō ki te whakararangi paitaha. Ka whiu atu a Nate Wera I tēnei wā I te poro.
Adam Sousa takes the ball in the line-out. Cade Davis, back door. Let's go, good clear.
great support play happening. Great support play happening at the moment from the New Plymouth Boys High. But that defensive pressure hasn't let them get anywhere, the New Plymouth Boys. So Hastings are doing well in that facet of the game.
Good clearance there by Levi Clements.
And you know, as a defensive team, that you're doing your job well when the opposition has to kick that ball out, because you're getting up in their face, and you're putting that pressure on them, and you're not giving them any work. But as the game goes on, you know that it comes down to stamina. Comes down to stamina and how long you can keep at that. So that's something that it'll be interesting to watch as this game progresses with ngā taitamatane o te taunga. Great hands there. Good protection of the poro i ngā rucks.
Down the sideline there. An infringement seen back in the middle of the field, offside.
And those wanting to know what a ruck is in te reo, we've got ketu ketu e hoa ma.
Ketu.
So if there's someone who's too quick to the ketu ketu, the ref might blow it up, or if you're not releasing the tackler in the ketu ketu, then you also might get pinged. So some great running there by the number 14 from Hastings down the side, and they just couldn't quite finish that completion. So number 14, we've got Rafe Robinson.
Hastings doing well to bring the New Plymouth defence in to get that space on the outside.
Kia ora, tēnā koe. So Rafe Robinson, I feel like we've heard that name before. I feel like he may have played last year for this Hastings team. So normally, with first 15s, year by year, they can change quite a bit, can't they?
Right. And that's the thing, like you come into a new season, you've got new blood, new young ones that have come through. They may have been playing seconds the previous year. So you have to get them up to speed and create a new culture every year of the team. So that's a challenge for our coaches to make sure that they've got that real positive culture. I know that New Plymouth Boys, they work hard on their culture of their team. So.
And so that penalty's taken it out to te tatauranga te kau ki ngā taitamatane o here taunga, ki te toru ki ngā taitamatane o ngā motu. And absolutely, it plays a massive part in team building and team strength, the strength of a team when you've got your teammates back and all of those good things. So that's built, and that's one of the things that the coaches have to take into consideration, kaiako, when it comes to choosing people. So if you picked all year 13 students to play every single game, and they all leave, then what happens to the next year?
Exactly, and we have good.
So who are our coaches, Ahoa, from the
Ngā Motu, Ngā Tamatane o Ngā Motu? The coach is Ray McDonald, and the assistant coach is Chris Luke. And for Hastings Boys, we've got Carl Lowe and Jason Schumark.
Jason Schumark, I feel like I've heard that name before, Ahoa.
He, I think, played for the...
Used to play for Hawke's Bay?
Yeah, and
Hawke's Bay and the Hurricanes, yeah. Centre. In the midfield, Kapai.
So the ball's gone out there with the feed for Hastings Boys.
Well, you'd have to have the old the spectacles on to see the quickness of that movement there. If you're a kaiwa wau or you referee on the side there, and you might know a little bit about that. You've done a little bit about that mahi too?
Yeah, I try and do a little bit of everything, really.
Kārawe.
Good drive forward there by Hastings.
And when you're refereeing, do you try to use a few kupu Māori as well, like the ketu ketu in the ruck there?
Actually, in the probably not at this level, I wouldn't, but just purely because these other fellas are too fast, I can hardly breathe.
Whai e rā kupu Māori mō ngā mea I roto I te whutuporo.
Levi Clement, it's Upiti Boylan. Unfortunately, Levi Clements had just put his foot on the line there.
It's a tricky dilemma. Do I leave the ball bounce or do I catch it? I always tell the kids that I coach, catch that ball. Because it's an oval. You never know where it's going to go. So if you can get to it, catch it on the full, you'll 100% know where it's going, straight to your arms. And on that occasion, he ran the risk and he spun the dice. But they've done brilliantly to pull it back. But no, that number one's come through.
And they've caught a knock on there in the line out from Hastings.
So that was number one, Isirili Karanivalu, and he came through and took that ball, beautifully. But in somewhere in there, our Kaiwa Wao, he spotted a little infraction, and so he's pulled them back. So we're going to have a nonoke I tēnei wā for those that are just learning. Te nonoke. What's a nonoke? Oh, that's a scrum. So we're going to nonoke.
Nonoke.
Yeah, like the worms, the noke. I think that kupu might have come around from those fellas,
She in at the back of the scrum there to Sinclair again.
Beautiful feed, beautiful. Rawe ngā
Looking
maka.
wide, George Lecan. They're looking to move them out wider now.
And they're
Sam Graham,
getting
Sam
up
Graham
quick,
taking it up there.
not give them any room to move.
To Whakaia.
Some great offloads there. Second looks.
Turnover. Maui was straight onto that ball. That's a good hit that hole.
Oh, there's some consistent pressure being put on the new Plymouth Boys.
Karanavalu taking that ball in. Maui with the ball. Off to Parisi.
Oh, there's that Lameko again. Oh, with an interesting, unorthodox maka. And he's looking around for some other kai tautoko to whakaia ana I tōna maka. Engari, auare ake, kāre etahi tāngata I whakaia ana. It'd be interesting to see the stats on how many injuries happen on a turf field compared to a normal paddock. Because I know that I've only played on a couple of turf paddocks and it's a lot harder when you hit the ground, to be honest.
Well, when I've reffed on this game, I run around on it and I'm thinking, I'm glad my playing days are done.
Yeah, you do end up, unless you got the long socks on, end up with a few scrapes on the knees when you're going in to make tackles, etc. But those are the sorts of things that you got to weigh up when it comes to, hey, we're going to have a playing surface, or you can't play on it at all.
Absolutely. And it'll be good to play some, like club rugby coming on here. It's a all-weather surface, so it's good for the region too, I think.
Kia ora. And also, we wouldn't be able to bring you these beautiful pictures here in Ngā Motu in New Plymouth without the kind support of our sponsors. So mihi atu kia Apollo Projects, kia Caltex, kia Whakata Māori, kia Baileys, kia New Zealand Carbon Farming Hoki. Without their support, then, we wouldn't be sitting here calling this game right now. We wouldn't have these cameras capturing this, so whānau around the motu are able to watch it from the comfort of their own homes. So mihi atu kia rātou.
So you can hear some instructions in there being given to Heath Sheehan there, the halfback.
I still feel like even though it's first 15 rugby, there's still a lot of education that needs to happen. And so I feel like the refs are constantly having to do that for our players. Our kai tākaro. So mihi atu ki aia. Ko e tahi o ngā kaiako I runga I te whira ngā kai wawao nera.
Early push there from New Plymouth.
I'd love to see a tap move. I'd love to see a tap, maybe a wall. Hey,
Alafia, take that ball in, quick tap. We've got Lockie Varco coming through there. Strong, like his old man back in his days.
Kia ora. And he analysed, looked both ways, and number 10, Tana Whaunuina.
Kapai, that's some great great pressure on defence there from New Plymouth.
And there's not really a whisper of wind out there, so
Nothing.
there's no advantage either way besides the sun coming into your eyes. And there's that John again, Lameko, bringing it up with a tino kaha tōna oma. Ki ngā kai ārai, ngā defenders.
Are we looking for his next runners already?
And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to spread it and use that outside channels that they had before.
Good hole there from Triumph.
And that's not the fella you usually see on the wing.
No, exactly. PG Boylan just happened to be in the right place at the right time in that movement.
It's a really Karini Valu out on the wing. He thought, hey, I might just shoot on in there myself. Kari tēnei wā e kala. So you might be asking yourself, what are the positions in when it comes to Futu Poro? Because we're talking about the prop.
Yeah, Paumua.
Yeah. Paumua.
Right.
Tight head prop, Pauroto. Paumua Waho, the old loose head prop. The loose forwards, often they're the ones being lifted in these lineouts too because they're slightly more slender. But that occasionally changes. There we go. There's got one of you loose forwards, number 8.
That was great. Taken by Paya. They're getting their roll on Hastings.
Kokiri 2, we've got that maul going forward. And what's happened here? We've had a
good spotting there by the Kaiwawau for the knock on there.
And we'll set ourselves up for another nonoke here at the attacking end for Hastings, but the new Plymouth boys, the boys from Ngamotu, they've got the feed to the nonoke I tēnei wā. So they're going to look to probably clear this ball out of there. So I wouldn't be surprised if you've got your number 10 or your fullback sitting there getting ready to try and counter-attack.
Sinclair at 10 there, so interesting to see what they opt to do here. I think they. Yeah, I think they're just out. I don't think they're going to clear it. They're outside the 22.
They're
so
outside the 22. So if we can't take the ball back into the 22 and kick it out, otherwise the line will come back to where they kicked it from. So they could look for an attacking kick for this opposite winger on the side closest to the camera, if they can get the ball out easily. It's a bit of a
there's
mess in there.
Some pressure there put on by Hastings.
Huri haere, te nonoke, te rāwā. They'll get a second bite at the cherry, as they say, and they'll get to feed that nonoke once again. Whāngaia to feed. And there's their little halfback slapping his forwards to give them some encouragement. Come on, boys. Control that ball, because he knows what happens when it doesn't get controlled. He gets all the pressure put on him.
Hichian, the ball in. They're taken off the back by Cade Davis. Strong run there from Cade. And cleared by Ben Sinclair. Up.
It's gone straight into the hands of Te Nama Te Kau Mā Rima Gabe Diha.
Yeah, up there.
Rawe te rutu iaia.
Aye.
Rawe te rutu iaia. Te Nama Te Kau Mā Toru Triumph voice. It wasn't a bad run, but it was good defence.
He tried to take the outside, but George Lekens was up for it.
He said, not an whenua e hoa. Maybe back in Heretaunga you could get those gaps, but not over here in Ngamotu. Eh? We shut those ones early, mate. And they give that man a round of applause as someone new comes on and fills the ranks.
Well, again, Cade Davis takes the ball. He seems to be the one that they turn to get that go forward. So, great run by there. Sinclair again. Oh, a nice chip there. Levi Clement. Oh, that was
Oh, I think he's got a
Unlucky
call
he got
from the
a knock
touchy,
on.
perhaps.
Yeah.
There was a hand touch to that. It's one of those things in rugby. Sometimes the ball bounces for you, and sometimes it doesn't. But if you don't throw the dice, you never know. So he gave it a go.
What's great is they see that their defence has been coming up really, really hard. So just having that little chip in behind,
It's gonna
was good vision from Ben. Yeah,
Absolutely, yes. That's how you counter the fast defence coming up on you, is to look straight over their heads. And only takes a little chip over.
Yep.
But you got to be ready with hands that are ready to take it.
Oh, that was great. Well done. Oh, Sheehan, what a great effort there. Good Sheehan with the ball off.
That was brilliant.
Levi Clements, yep.
Leicester. Sharing the ball out.
Sheehan. Sinclair again.
That's that new man on the field. Fresh legs.
All right. And Kay Davis again, taking that ball up.
It's Malachi Benny, number 17, coming on. Oh, interesting manoeuvres that are happening. You know, they're seeing, obviously, they've got the word and they've understood that the defence is coming out real quick. So they're saying, okay, and that's going to put the Hastings boys, okay, we need to hold back a little bit.
Right.
We'll send some sweepers around to make sure we've got that covered.
There's just a slight change in the way that New Plymouth are playing at the moment, with those little chip kicks in behind.
And number 8 just took it off the young fella, eh? He had a couple more inches on the top. There would have been a mean contest.
Lister up there.
That's the beautiful thing about Futuporo. There's a position for every size.
So they're playing advantage for the pulling down of the ruck, of the maul. So let's see what the New Plymouth boys can make of this.
He's going to take it back for the hapa.
All right. I'm feeling a sense of real urgency from the New Plymouth boys, and once they can see that they've got getting that roll on, it's great to see them sort of coming into this. They've spent so much time down their end of the field, and now we're here.
I think they've figured out that constant pressure that Here Tauranga was applying to them, and so now they've realised and they've adjusted, and now they're making these inroads.
Yep, Brodie Lester takes that ball from the top again, and I think they're going to go and maul that through. Some great pressure from the New Plymouth boys. That's an outstanding
Ko te Namarua, ko Nate Werder. Ooh, we saw him set up right at the back. And then they go and they convert that great effort there and put points on the board.
It's been interesting what the AR is coming for Cordero here. Look at this, Brodie Lester on the top, goes straight to the back.
And then Kokiri too, a bit of a maul, getting ready to push
Nate
over.
Werder's got the ball in his hand from there.
And there's the little halfback.
And he's not letting that ball go at all from that point. And over he goes.
And there's the little halfback cheering him on. Oh, that's as part of his mahi, the halfback. So encourage them all the way. The Potoko, the halfback. And we've got the conversion, the whana whakau.
Obviously just waved away.
Must have been the sun in his eyes in that one, I think, Ehoa. He's kicking into the sun. So that leaves us at Waru ki te tekau ki Here Tauranga, Hastings Boys at the moment. But they've turned around the corner and they're back on the hunt. They're putting the pressure on Hastings Boys. Ngamotu.
So the last 10 minutes of play have been a real change in momentum.
So we're going to look at how Hastings going to adjust now that they know they're going to be putting these chips in over the top. Will they hang back? And so they'll have a little bit more time, hopefully. Good take and looking into the sun there.
Kay Davis again taking the ball forward. Great strength in taking those players with him. Malachi Benny, good strength.
And that's Jason McGregor, number 12.
Sheehan, Sinclair. Again, Kay Davis taking that ball forward.
I'm hearing his name a lot, which means he's a
bit of a workhorse.
Yes, he's a mahi dog, as we hear it called sometimes these days.
And that is half time. Quite evenly done in the end. You know, Hastings got on top really early, and New Plymouth have fought hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the action from the first half at Te Whānau. So keep it tuned and we'll know the result of this game after the second. So stay locked there, Te Whānau. Tēnā koutou.
Get the Māori Plus app. Download now on Google Play or the App Store with exclusive viewings and 100% ad-free.
Quite like top tier.
Watch us anywhere, anytime. Make Māori Plus your mate and stream now.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times.
Nāna te kōrero, e kore te kauri kia piko. Aha ko te aha, turanga tira koe noho haka iti.
Kaore anō tēnā tū wairua, kia pā mai ki au, I runga I te tū ki te papa tū aiwa.
Au taia, tukula mai o kaha hea mātou nei tamariki kia tūranga tira.
Ko au taia, haka, thera.
I'm Jason Bill and we farm around the Mid-North. We took a review of our business a couple of years ago, sort of identified challenges that we had. One was profitability, and we'd noticed on our steep hill country we're getting more and more erosion. We looked around to diversify, looked at forestry to plant on our steeper country. For us, it really addressed those concerns. By doing the forest farm model, we feel like we're getting the best of both worlds. And I'm really excited and I really do believe in this model. I think it's the way of the future.
Okay guys, twice to sell. You've got past the sell, go sell. Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
We're going to go now. Going once, going twice, no more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Tamariki like ours can go through this whole life being invisible.
He aroha wha ere ere, he pōtiki piripoho.
I'm so proud of my son. I can see how hard he's working.
From a superkura,
it's really heartwarming to know that we have a place.
To a super city.
We're going to just give it our best.
Manga Tangaroa's fight for a better quality of life.
You can do it. Nice job, Manga.
We'll push the human boundaries.
Good man, there you go.
Of possibility.
We need to work past that point of comfort to make sure that we actually get the gains that we want to be getting.
By week 3, we're not going to even recognise this boy. It's totally different.
Nurturing Hope. All episodes streaming now. Ki Māori Plus.
Get the Māori Plus app. Download now on Google Play or the App Store with exclusive viewings and 100% ad-free.
Quite like top tier.
Watch us anywhere, anytime. Make Māori Plus your mate and stream now.
Nau mai e te iwi. Kia ngā motu, and we're here at New Plymouth Boys High School. Tell us about what's happened in the first half, brother.
Wow, that was a half of two halves, really. I thought that Hastings put a lot of pressure on New Plymouth Boys, but they fought back. And in this try here, this was 3 minutes into the game. I thought they exposed his wheels. What's that?
John Lemeko.
Yeah, John Lemeko's wheels really early. They made some good half breaks and they've got into space, but then New Plymouth had turned it around and they've actually fought back really nicely, and it started from, I think, where Ben Sinclair had chipped over the top of the defensive line, which now Hastings has to think. They can't just come up all the time because they're not worried about the chip over. One chip and it's changed the game,
That's right, yeah. It keeps those defenders and those second guessing. Are they going to run at us? Are they going to kick it over our heads? So we're looking at our stats here. New Plymouth Boys with 53% of the possession. So they're down at the moment by 2 points. But really, that's pretty close. Territory, though, if we look at it, Hastings have been in their territory for 64% of the game, which is quite a lot to keep that, to stop them from scoring.
And only being down by 2 points is a great, character that New Plymouth are showing.
Now, line breaks, there was 7-3 to Hastings, so that's just first up tackles. Ngā rutu tuatahi, haka mutua era. And then if you can make those first up tackles, they stop the line breaks going through. But it's the support play that they have to watch out for as well.
And this game can go either way, still go either way, and which is great to see because that's how rugby should be.
Pono marikaya. And here we go, we've got number 10 standing by to kick from Hastings Boys. That's Tana Faumuina. Koia te topa tahi.
It's a long one.
Puts that down deep, yes, but well received from the...
Game, K. Davis taking the ball up.
Is that man
strong,
again?
he is strong. Playing a strong game.
It helps when you've got a bright blue headgear on.
Yeah.
We know straight away who that fella is. Koi te rā tama.
Sheehan, Levi, Clement.
Back to number 15, Levi Clement, Paumuri.
And regathered by Levi Clements. So
and kids, that's what a good kick and chase can do for you. You get that return ball, but now we've got number 14, who is Reef Robinson, and he's beautiful makaya to his Hoa Tākaro, his teammate.
So
there's number 2, JJ Lilo Iosefa from the halfback position, beautifully passed out, but obviously they've weren't able to reel it in.
Pressure put on by New Plymouth Boys to force that turnover.
And there's that chip again.
There's that chip. Out on the footpath, they've come back for a penalty for offside.
And then he must have known that, because you won't overdo the chip over the tops if you don't need to, because then they're always going to turn back and they're always going to get it. So use it sparingly. But unfortunately, that one didn't come off this time. There are whanaiti.
So there's a few good boys on that bench of New Plymouth Boys to come on. So they're going for the points here. Tainelli going for the post.
So that's number 13, Tainelli,
yep.
Tainelli, and he's the topapu. What's the topapu in English, Ehua? Number 13 would be the...
Centre.
Would be the centre. Poo, when we talk about poo, is like the heartbeat of that, or the centre of that thing. So, koe rā te ingoa.
Well, fortunately, it's just gone away. But I think New Plymouth Boys will be feeling happy with the way things have started in this half. We're only 2 minutes 30 in, but what I like, Hastings have also absorbed all of that too. And they've got some strong boys in there.
We know about momentum. So if you put the pressure on down that end, any mistakes that the opposition makes, then you're going to be that much closer to getting all the way to the other end if they make a mistake down there. And he puts up an attacking up and under. Runga raro. And great take looking into the sun. I'm surprised he didn't call a mark there, to be honest. And he's fallen down on that ball. Unfortunately, ka taka ia ki runga I te pōro. Hāmene ana ia. Nō reira, ka hoa atu te pōro ki a here taunga I tēnei wā.
So Falmarina going for touch. Good distance there from Falmarina. Captain JJ Leroy Iosefo with the throw into the line out. You can see number 18 for Hastings had come on, Eli Southwick, taking that ball off the line out. Some great pressure there by New Plymouth.
Great pressure defence, and that's exactly what it causes when you're up in the attacker's face. They've got no time to think about what to do, and mistakes inevitably happen. So mihi ana ki ngā kairutu I tērā wā.
Aye.
Whakaritea tēnei nonoke. And so looking back in the previous games over the last couple of years, it's been Hastings that have just come out on the top. So New Plymouth boys will be hoping to turn that around this year.
Well, there was a lot of pressure there from Lockie Varco. So good work there that caused to force the mistake there.
And that's just those little things what we talked about before. When teams spend time together, they understand. Our mate on the ground there released the ball, and sometimes it just gets stuck on a finger or something like that. It's only small things, but as the competitions progress, those smaller things turn into big things when they're really tight games like this one at the moment. Waru ki te tekau.
All right.
Beautiful defence.
Yeah, great.
Rawe tēnā rutu. That's number 10, Ben Sinclair, I do believe. Making those tackles. And once again, that pressure is persistent. Persistent pressure on that Hastings, which is quite different to the first half, which really was the Hastings team doing that.
Yep. And Brodie Lister picked that ball up.
Was that a risky pass to throw in your own 22, perhaps? So hopefully the young ones that are watching this learn from those experiences.
All right.
And I think he's...
John Olameko, he seems to be everywhere, that their winger for Hastings Boys.
And his manager did mention him in the interviews at the start of the game, I do believe. And unfortunately, there's a high tackle that's come in there.
See some confidence here from New Plymouth and going for the corner.
Absolutely, yep. They could have taken the 3 points and got the lead, but they feel confident enough that they're going to put it into the corner and have another go at mauling over.
Nate Werder throwing the ball in. Let's see who they get up off the ground, whether it's going to be Brodie Lister or Adam Sousa. So number 19 for Hastings comes on for Marshall London Lane. So he's come on. I'm not sure who left the field, but good to have him on.
And so we've got a whakararangi paitaha about to happen with the attacking side, New Plymouth boys preparing themselves in ngā motu.
We're prepared to get that ball in. Oh, they've got Hastings up there.
Tahai ia I tērā pōro, te nama whā o tērā Lockie Varco.
And that is outstanding work. Who was...
Engari, tino tere.
Ai.
Te tāhai hoki o te rātitama. Rawe tērā maka. Te whakataka I tērā pōro. Mai te tāngata e mauana I tērā.
It was a great phase of defence there for New Plymouth.
Absolutely, and here we'll have a look at what happened, getting up nice and high and just managing to get in front.
Lucky Varco stealing that off the top.
They heard that call and they knew where it was going. Perhaps they need to change that up. But right there, he put his body on the line and he put everything into that tackle. And ana, koina ngā hua, kua puta. They've got a scrum feed, but they're still not out of trouble yet because they've got a long way to go. Ka rohaki ai. Ka rohaki te tamara. Te ariki Joseph Maui. Koia te pautoko o te kapara. Ka haere ia ki te kōrero ki aia, ki te kaiwawao.
So both teams have nine turnovers each. So, you know, it's been a lot of changing of hands. You know, they're getting over that ball nice and early.
And something that you probably wouldn't expect on a day like this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when there's not too much dew on the pitch. Engari, hey, koira te pressure. I roto I nei kemu. And here we have Ngā Motu on the pressure piss. And there they are.
And there they are. In the corner by Nate Word, I'm sorry, Carl. Heath Sheehan.
And tiro hari koana Jake Stevens. Whiu tōna onaka Malakai Benny tēnā. Whiu tōna ringa ki runga. Te whakanui tōna hoa.
8-9 move there. And Heath Sheehan just going in the corner there.
Showing great determination. Hey, he was going up against the bigger fella, but it doesn't matter about the size of the dog in the fight. Hey, it's the fight in the dog, and we saw the example of that right there. Aha koa te nui o te kuri. Hey, ko te whawhai roto I te kuri te mea nui. And it's not an easy kit to put over from here, is it? But what will this do if he manages to slot this through the post there, huh?
I think confidence. He just needs to build his confidence, and you know, obviously it'd be great to go over. But
so if he's able to pull this one off, that'll give them their 5-point buffer, which is a try. But it is a difficult kick, and you get all the way to the Super Rugby, and you've still got kickers that aren't able to convert those ones. So if you are able to get it at this age group, amazing kicking ability. So
slots that one.
He obviously learnt a bit from that te whana tuatahi.
Alright, so 10 minutes into the second half, it is 15-10 to Ngā Motu.
And the fleet-footedness of that young number 9 converting that try for his boys from Ngā Motu.
Moina to restart from the halfway. And Brody
who's that man with the blue headgear again?
There he is.
They're showing some confidence here now.
They really
They're
are
showing some confidence. So once again, yes, they were sharp to it. The Hastings boys, knowing that they've been doing those kicks quite a bit today. And there's that number 14, Reef Robinson, bringing it back again to Paiho. And pick and go from Israeli Karinalivo. Karanavalu, aye. Te Paumua.
Oh, we've got a head injury here. Number 14,
Reef
Robinson. I think it'd be a good time for both teams to regroup here. I think that Hastings have got the strike power, but just one of those games where things aren't sticking to their hands, and
sometimes it takes a bit of while for chemistry to come together, for them to make those little adjustments to be able to convert on those things. So
yeah, there's a lot of pressure coming from New Plymouth. Hastings are trying to move the ball, and they're just forcing the errors.
But we're seeing the opposite of what we saw in the start of the first half, which New Plymouth are starting to, feel that confidence that Hastings probably had in the first half, and it's starting to pay dividends because they're getting the space out wide. Perhaps they might look to not kick it as much and retain that position, rather than as they make themselves more aware that they're going to kick that ball a little bit more. So here we have some of probably the ones that stay here at Te Kura, perhaps, or the under 15 side that played earlier.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Come to tautoko all their mates. And here we are, back to the first try of the day, and that was within the first 3 minutes, so it caught them surprised.
And that was just space, so the New Plymouth boys gave them too much space early. They've seemed to have changed the way that they're creating things within their team, so yeah, great.
And here we have the kokiri to the maul that saw them convert and score that try there. So those are only 2 tries for the day. So even though we've got a sunny day and there's not too much dew out there, not too much water, not too much wind, it's still a very tight game, which is comes down to the defensive pressure that they're putting on each other. So if we look back at last year's game, it was 32 to New Plymouth to 41 to Hastings. So a very high scoring game. So it's like they went back and looked at the tape and said to ourselves, hey, whānau, we need to make some rutu, some tackles this year, eh? Everyone was out here to score tries last year.
Sheehan, ball in.
Ka whangaia te pautoko I te nonoke anō. Engari ka kōrero a te kaiwa wao ki a rātou. Hei, whakatika ngia I tērei nonoke a wama. A brief pause for them to take a breath because it has been intense up until this point. And it's quite a prime position. You're at 40 metres out from your line and you'll split the defence, so it'll be interesting to see which pathway they go.
Are we going to see Kay Davis pick off the back
Davis
again?
Off the back. There he is.
And 8-9.
And switched the whole field, went the opposite way.
And again, looking for that chip in behind the line.
Some fleet-footedness from number 14, I think it was, Reith Robinson. And they're really pressuring that ball, New Plymouth, because they know they don't want to let them kick it out of here. They're trying to keep that pressure on.
JJ leading from the front there.
And that would be taken back, so they can't kick it out from there. But they're showing some confidence again.
And going out wide.
And there's the biggest winger on the field at the moment.
Sarelli Karanavalu.
Karanavalu. Oh, mihi ana ki aia me tōna whānau. He knows where to go. Some great defence, I know. There's a little bit of space outside there if he can hold that. Great tippy-toeing down the sideline, and once again, a little number 9, is he going to have the wheels? Some great defense to pull him in, and he's on that ball, and that number.
Flynn Bryant is on the ball again.
So he not only upset that run, but he managed to turn over the ball by not stopping until he had completed that little ruck there. So for the young players watching the game today, remember, don't finish the tackle until you're back on your feet fighting for that ball. And that's evident of it right there. Look, bang, on the ball, number 6. Flynn Bryant, te pautaha.
Te pautaha.
O mahara koutou, remember what the name was ruck, for the ruck was? It was a ketu. So there he was.
Nate Werder. All in. And taken by Hastings.
Ooh, he caught
JJ
that ball
again leading from the front.
just as he met JJ.
Lilo Iosefa.
Kia ora, mihi atu ki aia me tōna whānau. Kai kape. Great carry there under pressure from number 21. That's Pānapa Lambert.
Again, it's really Karanavalu. Good strong carry there. Palmerston off to Kite. Strong carry from Kite. Paya, Panapa Paya.
They're retaining the ball well, but their pressure's still being kicked on them from the Ngamotu boys. Oh, that's a beautiful hole there, found by number Eli Southwick, and he pops it off to Tana Whaumuina. Rawe te rā piro e mara. Oh.
May have just lost that ball over that line.
Te tiro atu ia ki te kaiwawa o tuarua.
Right, got it.
Whakai ana. Ai. Whakai. And that comes down to that beautiful pass. Hey, watch, who's that? Number 10, that was the man.
That running that hole.
He not only gave the pass, the maka, but he followed it up with support and paid dividends for
well done, Tana.
Yes, you did see it there. Just about, but he regathered it and piro.
Piro.
And I thought to myself, they were doing really well to hold them out, the new Plymouth side, and it was just a moment.
Eli Southwick really hit that hole, which opened that space, and then Tana Whaumuina, he supported on the inside really well.
And I think that goes to show how important it is to run without the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to have the ball to be making and running good lines. And so we saw evidence of that just then.
Yep.
So at te whānau at home, no matter if you've got the ball in your hands or off the ball, make sure you're running the correct lines, and then people can feed you and you'll get those gaps. Wa huri te tatauranga a te kaumāwhitu ki a Hastings, ki te kaumārima ki a Ngamotu.
Pai te whanatu ānuku. Great stuff.
It was a great little offload too. He had two men on him, trying to bring him down.
So Levi Clement's going to start us again after that try.
I just saw we had number 1 from Palmerston North, Sam Graham, coming off. So we shall soon see who has fulfilled his position.
Okay, Levi Clements.
And as we
they look.
Sideline, give it a crack, they said.
Yeah. Oh, great. 50-22.
Now,
so they'll get the feedback.
It was a 50-22. Right. So that can be a heck of a momentum shifter, when you pull those ones off.
Absolutely.
So even though his mates would say give it a go, he gave it a go in another way, and look, wai mari e rātou.
Weirdo in with the throw. I can see that Jacob Awaho is now taking the field in jersey 19 and taking that ball. And also Jake Stevens for New Plymouth.
Great carry into the defence there. Mai te rā tama. And that pressure's been put on the number 9 there because perhaps the forwards weren't protecting their halfback. And that's a great offload. And regather by number 8, Pana Papaya. Strong carry again by Zarelli. And it's an attacking kick once again. And it pulls in. Reef. And the wheels of the man. How's it looking? Oh, great tackle. Great defence.
It's amazing, just like that, we can be at the other end of the field.
Just like that attacking kick and the bounce of the ball.
Triumph voice with the ball, taking it to the line and through.
And he's found some good space there. And he'll look to try and stay in and fight to stay in. Number 21, that's Panapa Lambert. And play on, they say. France Tavita, I think's number 20. He's on at halfback now. Isareli again. Karani Valu. He's done a heck of a lot of work today. Now they're shifting. There's that 18 again that made the break before, Eli Southwick. But the man's on the ball and he could have caused a turnover.
George Lekens.
There's the ball for New Plymouth Boys, and they're going to look to clear it. And he's found a bit of grass. Oh, actually not grass. He's found a bit of turf. And the ref's called that carry on. He's carrying with one hand, Rafe.
Oh, that's a...
And he's called something there, so he's playing advantage.
For something.
There's that Southwick again. He's out there on the fringes. Number 19, Marshall.
London Lane.
London Lane. And here we are. We've just got a brief moment of respite for all of the players. And that goes out to number 2, JJ Lilo Iosefa, with a great run there. That's why he's the captain. Te kāpene o te tīmara.
Right.
Oh, Karani Valu with the pass out the back, and there's the Southwick again. He's going to almost replicate that offload he did. There was no one there with him that time. But they go again.
George Lekens again.
But he was on the ball, Lekens. And they've got an injured man down there who's not going to be wanting to get hit by his mates running there. So we heard the call taken back there, so that's meaning the play went past the 22. They passed it back into the 22 to make the kick, and it's gone out on the full, so they've taken it back to where the kick was made.
Both teams are fighting hard here. Playing some great rugby and just not finishing.
Back and forth here. I would have thought he might have pinned his ears back in that first half, but that man's come back and he's made up for that first half hupper. And some great offloads again, and great running, and he looked inside once again.
Is just seeming to find those gaps.
But that number 19 from Jacob Awaho, he knew the lane to run down to stop that offload from happening. So well done there, Tama. So there's only 2 points in this game with 12 minutes to go.
Some strong defence there.
Tino kaha ngā rutu a te tamara. Ka taka te pōro, kai mua, koira te take I tū ai te kaiwa wāu I te kēmu. I roto I tēnei rutu pea. Ka taka te pōro.
Ia mai te Remy Hami, the halfback for New Plymouth Boys.
And he's an injection of new energy.
Yeah.
It's quite an energy intensive position, the halfback. So after this long in a game, you bring in that fresh energy, and he's going to be trying to put a stamp on that position to try and get more game time.
100%.
So we've been all over the park today, Ewa.
Especially in the second half. There's a lot of movement. We're hitting those holes. Hastings seem to be hitting those holes a lot more. New Plymouth are trying to take it to the boys, to the Hastings boys. So yeah, we are all over the park.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes opening up now, and perhaps that's down to the stamina in this time of in the game, and so you're seeing the subs starting to get rolled on.
Hami to feed the scrum.
Whangai I te nonoke. Ka maka atu te pōro ki ai anō. Oh, rawe tērā maka.
Found turf there.
You found a great bit of turf there. But the man at the back said, I don't mind that because it gives me some space to run, and off he goes, Rafe Robinson. And And some nice passing around the back there to Karanavalu. And the man 19 on the outside, Marshall London Lane.
And reach out to
Wapiro I tēnei kokona o te whira. Te nama rua te kaumārua tama Edwards Butler. Wapiro ia. Some nice passing interchange here. There's that number 13, Triumph Voice, giving the ball out, and then number 19, Marshall Landon Lane with the offload. He had to do a lot of work still, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He had to do a lot of work.
Notice that Hastings is sort of trying to play the edges of the game. They've gone back to how they were playing in the first 15 minutes of the game.
And we've
They
noticed,
seem to be finding a bit more space.
and also the Palmerston North have taken those kicks back again. They're not doing those little chips as well. When they do get the ball as much, they're trying to just clear it down. So not so much attacking kicks, but I feel like they're trying to clear the ball to just give them a little bit of a breather. So there's that pressure's consistent. But that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, a long way out, great passing, great continuation of play.
So, I mean, that's a telling statistic there. 4 line breaks to 12. That, you can only defend that for so long before, there's other cracks that need to open up somewhere else.
I think there was 7-3 after the first half, so it's increased quite a bit. And that's a great kick from the Rawe tērā maka mai te paitaha o tērā tama a tana whaumuina a te topa tahi o here taunga, and that takes it out to 24-15 with 8.5 minutes to go. So they're going to have to do, pikinata te mahi o tērā tīma I tēnei wā o te tīma o New Plymouth Boys. And they'll be wanting to try and keep them down that end of the field and get them to make some mistakes so they can capitalise.
Hastings have really found some confidence in what they're doing now. So it's great to see them hitting those spaces. Great to see them having more confidence and passing that ball off into that space so the boys are hitting the space.
Gilda. Nice
George
fast
Lekens.
feet.
Oh.
I think that was Tama Edwards Butler, 22. And they've secured their ball again.
Corbin Rogers. Great go forward. Just a little patience required here.
It's only 9 points. So that's only, a try, converted try and a penalty, and you're back in the game. He's let that carry on. That was fair enough too. His feet just touched the ground. But they're in the right place at the moment to try and make put a bit of pressure on Hastings boys. So Hastings are going to have to be smart with the ball here.
It's a great offload there.
Offload and run there. But also good defense to bring them down and slow the play down. So when there's broken play like this is the...
Number 17 there, Sione Kauwhanonga.
Where they have to be ready to shut down those runs like this run here from... And they're still looking to probe through to the back. It's a great little looking kick. Unfortunately, you roll the dice on those ones and you hand the ball over to the opposition. So at this stage of the game, perhaps having to think about retaining that ball may have been a better option, but you never know. Had that popped up or bounced funny for a 50-50 ball in rugby with an oval shape, it sometimes pops up.
Yep.
It pops up for you.
Absolutely. So he's come back for obviously playing at the ball, which is probably the better advantage than the ball going out there. If they kick the ball out, they get the throw into the lineup.
No reira ka whakaritea te kaiwhana, te poro. Whai ia I tētahi whana nui, ki te paitaha. Ka whakaritea rātou I nai nei, te whakararangi. And once again, we have a look at this brilliant run with the offload. And the little fend there. Great defence, great scramble defence to bring that down and shut that play down. But that initial burst with the offload, also impressive play by the young players here.
Right. With 5.5 minutes to go, this is still anyone's game.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes here, huh? You can boil a couple of eggs. You can also score a couple of tries.
So Sam Graham's come back on for Stevens, Jake Stevens.
This is when we see those new substitutes coming on, bringing that fresh energy. And once they're up again, very quickly, the Hastings boys on defence.
Ben Sinclair.
You can see they're in two thoughts because the defence is right up on them about what the best decision is.
Remy Harmon.
But take it forward, retain the ball, reassess.
Kane Davis.
Beautiful Kane.
Getting that momentum forward.
And we've seen what this player can do from the side. And some great defence. And Tera Rutu.
Hastings are playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. You know, they're now flicking up those balls from the ground. They're putting out those passes that they probably would have held on to it in the first half. So great to see them throwing the ball around.
Well, it's entertaining rugby, isn't it?
Oh, it's great to watch. Great to watch.
Pai mo ngā kai mā taki-taki. Engari mo ngā kaiako o te tīmara, they're probably pulling out their makawe.
If they have any. Brody Lister, always in the right place at the right time. But obviously a knock-on spotted earlier in the play.
Tērā maka hakamua, a forward pass. O a taka hakamua, a knock-on. So ka whakaritea ngā tima I te nonoke I tēnei wā. Ka hia rātou, tata ki te pai kei wainga.
Ai.
No reire, we can see the back line set up from the Hastings boys. And then we've got the other winger in behind the first five as well. So big decision here, what are they going to do? Are they going to have a shot at goal and run the clock down, or put it in the corner and try and have a bit of a kōkiri tū, a maul down in the corner?
They look like they're going to go for the corner.
Yep, he's trying to slow it down.
Whakararangi.
Slowing it down a little bit, the first five. Tāne whaumuina. O pai ana te rutu. A whai ia I tērā wahanga. To put pressure on the new Plymouth boys here. Still 22 metres out, but new Plymouth boys are the ones that need the points. 2.5 minutes to go, so it'll be interesting how they try to turn this around. And tahai te pōro mai tērā tīma. Have to do something big here, and it's fallen their way.
Just needs a bit of patience. Levi Clements. And they're going to go wide again.
Great offload. He's going to want to try and stay in there. Brilliant.
Well done.
Once again.
Yeah. And you know, they're playing pressure rugby now, New Plymouth. They have to. They want to score as quickly as possible to, you know, give them an opportunity to take this game with 2 minutes to go.
And then they need to score quickly, so that's why every pass almost is they're trying to chuck an offload.
Brody Lister, good powerful run there.
Some good holding of the ball, preparing it for an offload. Presented once again for number 21, Hami. And they're working their way up the field there, what?
Certainly are.
And if he can get that pass away, it'll be down to this young player, and he hurdles over his mates because he saw a gap there. And they're throwing everything at the Hastings boys.
So what do you do here? Do you go for the post with 1 minute to go to get an opportunity to play the game?
You'd go for the post, wouldn't you?
Oh.
You might not get an opportunity again. But hey, kei a rātou te mana I runga I te whira.
George Lekins with that tackle there.
E rā maka ki runga I tōna mahunga. John with the pass. And he's ka whakamua tērā poro.
Kumutu te kemu,
Kua oti wā rātou pākaro I tēnei wā. Nō reira mihi atu ki ngā kai tākaro, ki ngā kaiako. Roa te wā, roa te haerenga, mai here taunga ki konei. Engari, kua mai mari e rātou. Te tīma o here taunga I tēnei wā. And we've been witness to a brilliant game of rugby here today. Some great expansive running. Some great offloads. Maka tuarua. Secondary passes. And as you can see, there's a few heads on and there's a few people getting help to walk. Nā te nui o te whakapau kaha o ngā kai tākaro I tēnei wā. Ki te mahi I ngā mahi, ki te prei tēnei kēmu, tēnei hākinakina. Nō reira, mihi atu kia rātou e whakātu I e rā puke ngā katoa kia mātou, ngā kai mā takitaki.
So one of your guys' first Super game, that's a milestone in itself. So yeah, shake our hands, see your family get changed and have fun on the way home to Pep. Enjoy your trip.
Ai, tēnā koe, rawe e rā kupu tautoko, e rā kupu aki ki tōna tīma. As we heard there, be humble in your winnings and hopefully they can take that through to the rest of the competition. Here we look now back at the times that we got our points on the board. So that was the first try by John Lameko. And with their little dance move at the end, Miharo e Mara. And the little halfback on the back from the number 8, blasting through the hole. E karema. Once again, Hastings, and with this pass, Southwick through the hole, but then also following up from his pass was Tana Faumuina te topatahi. And there we have it at te whānau. Mean haro, te katoa te kēmu nei. 54% possession to Napier Boys High, but once again we understand that possession isn't everything when it comes to the points board. If you convert, when you have the ball, then you end up getting the dub. Line breaks, that's the really massive difference there. 14-6, and I think that was the one that pulled through for Hastings Boys High School. I tēnei wā. Ākua nei, ka kōrero atu ki ētahi o ngā te kāpene o te tīma o here taunga. E pāna ki ngā nekehanga kei roto I tōna tīma, hei roto I tēnei kēmu. Nō reire e hoa mā, mātakitaki atu tātou, ki tērā mihi atu ki ngā kai mā takitaki kua taimai ngā kai tautoko, ki te tautoko I ngā tīma, I tēnei wā ki tēnei pito o te whenua. Ka pai whiu atu kia koe e hoa.
Kia ora, JJ. Hey, first of all, congratulations, mate, on the win out here on the gully this afternoon. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, mo malawa na si vi inga ma whaftai le tua, ona lona lofo mo ranga lei. Mo whai ona matu o mai e tāro mata rona nei. Whaftai le tua na puipu inga ma lona leo leonga. Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank the man above for bringing us all here today. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. I'd like to thank the parents that took in our boys last night. Really felt the mana of the school. And yeah, It was a really tough game. First half, they really dominated our first half. We really got a wake-up call. Second half came and the boys just found that switch and just had each other's back throughout the whole game.
Yeah, I think, in that first half, you scored the early try, then New Plymouth came back again. How did you as the captain gather the boys up to sort of go again?
So all the boys, they knew what was going on. They knew that some of the boys, they got pretty tired, so that all comes down to fitness, to be honest, and we just had to back up, just cover each other. We all come from one family, so we know how each other roll. Yeah.
And last question, how did you find the turf?
Oh, mate, this field is, good shocker, eh? You can see from my legs, not very good.
Hey JJ, congratulations mate, and well played today.
Thank you.
Tēnā koe mihi ana ki aia me tōna kōrero e hiki mai te wairua.
Kia ora, so unlucky with the result. However, from the sideline, they played with a lot of heart. How did you feel out there?
I felt like the boys really gave it their all today. We came into this game wanting to outmungle them, out-heart them, and I feel like for a good portion of that game we did. We played for each other, and that's all that matters at the end.
And I agree with you. I think that there's a great portion of that game where you took it to them, you had them rattled, and all of that sort of stuff. They just seemed to turn it around at the crucial times. Where to from here? What do you think is the big work on for your boys?
I think the big work on is just playing that full 70 minutes with the same intensity. I felt like we did drop off a bit towards the end of the game. They scored those tries, but big effort from the boys.
But it was a great game to watch. You boys played well. I know the kid will be proud of you and the way that you boys played as well. So great work.
Well, tēnā koutou e hoa, i tō kōrero, mō tō tīma. Some fantastic rugby being played out there today, and we were witness to that spectacle. So what we've coming up in the next little while, we've got the Rotorua Boys taking on Tauranga, we've got Gisborne taking on Napier, we've got Hastings, Palmerston North, and Hamilton Boys on New Plymouth. So those are all the Super 8 first 15 matches coming up over the next little while, and you can find those on Whakaata Māori and also on our YouTube channel, so keep an eye on those ones e hoa. Well, e te whānau from us here in Ngā Motu, New Plymouth, mihi atu kia koutou, nō reira, kua oti wā mātou mahi i tēnei rā, ki ngā kai whakahaere me ngā kai whakataitai, kia haumaru tā koutou hokinga ki o koutou kāinga, tēnā koutou, ngā kai mā takitaki i tā koutou tūhono mai, noho, ora mai e te whānau.
Thank you.